Hi, dear children. Now, before we could go to understand the function of the alternating current, how we get alternating current when the coil is rotated through a magnet and all this, and then like friction also, we have to be very well versed with differentiation. See here, y is equal to ax, where a is constant. So if you plot y and x, you will get a straight line in this way. At x, y will be ax, and this is the slope. Now, what will be dy dx of this with respect to x? See, this is x, dy dx. The slope here is constant. See, tan of this theta, the slope is constant, so you'll get a. If y is 2x, a will be 2. If y is x, a will be 1. So this is the beauty of the dy dx. Here, y is equal to x squared. See, 1, we get 1, 2, we get 4, 3, we get 9, 4 will be 16, 5 will be 25. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 4, 9 you'll get. So we see here now, if we draw the graph of y is equal to x squared, we'll get something like this, very sharp. Now, the thing, let us come now to see, y is x squared. Let x be increased by a very small amount. So here y plus dy, dy will go to x, y will go to dy, and x will go to dx. So you get x squared twice x dx plus dx squared. This is why algebra that you did in 8, 9, 10 will be very important to remember. So y plus dy x squared plus twice x dx plus dx squared. And dx squared is so small, I told you once, this is 0. So y plus dy x squared plus twice x dx. But what is y? Y is x squared. So x squared cancel. So you have here now dy is twice x dx. So dy by dx is twice x. This is the graph, see? Dy dx on the y-axis, x on the x-axis. So dy dx, so at 1 it is this, at 2 it is 2, 4, at, see, all these things. 1 and then you'll get 2, and 2 you'll get 4, at 3 you'll get 9, and all these things. At 3 you'll get 6, sorry, you'll get 6. So this is the graph of dy dx. So that we end with linear differential. Now we come to a more important one. Y is equal to sine x. X is the angle. And I'll tell you, children, nobody has done this one to tell you the beauty of this. See, now, when you plot y and x, when x is 0, sine x, sine 0 is 0. When x is 90, y is 1. When x is pi, again 0. 3 pi by 2 minus 1. And then when it is twice pi, 0. So it will be a sine wave in this way. So this is the graph of y is equal to sine x. You have seen here all these things I have done for you. Now, very important, dy dx. dy dx of sine x. So dy dx versus x. What do I get? I draw x-axis and I draw the y-axis. This one, I will not repeat it. It is this one. See? This is the one. What about dy dx versus x? So now, dy dx as 0, at 0. Do you know what? Dy dx at 0 is maximum. See, the tangent, the shooting is very sharp, so it is here. Dy dx is maximum here. And here, you know, when it is in the maximum, dy dx is a straight line parallel to x, So dy dx, there is no slope. So dy dx is 0. And here dy dx is minus 1. And then here dy dx is 0. And here when it is 0, dy dx is maximum. See? This one. And it's very important. Do you know what is this? Do you know what is this? It is the cosine of x. See? dy dx when when y is equal to sine x, dy dx is nothing but the cosine. Why I tell you it is cosine? See, when x is 0, dy dx is maximum. Why? When x is 0, you know, cos x is maximum, it is 1. See, this is 1, and here it is minus 1. So here, when it is here, it is 0. See, this is a slope, this slope, maximum slope dy dx, it's always 0, 0. And here, when it is going down like this, it is going down very sharp downward, minus 1, and so on, so forth. So what do you learn from here? A very important one, and let me tell you, no book have ever touched on this because it's very important when I do the problem with you on how to get alternating voltage in the thing, in the current electricity. So the graph dy dx is nothing but the graph of this, and the dy dx of this is nothing but the cosine of the sine. So dy dx, when y is sine x, dy dx is nothing but the cos of x. So we'll end here. Remember, y is equal to sine x, dy dx is equal to cos x. And this will be very important. You keep with you in your smartphone. Keep it with you. Remember, this we will come many problem in physics, the IIT problem, CBSE, JE problem you'll get from here, and there'll be no problem for you. Thank you.